Good morning, everyone. It's kind of dusty here. Oh yeah, there's rocks coming down. Keep going. Don't stop. I'm recording this on Thursday, but I figure since I know Friday will be a short video, I'll record a little bit over here. So right now I'm on Highway 8, southbound, eastbound, maybe? Eastbound, between Spence's Bridge and Merritt. Tiny little highway, beautiful in its own way. Kind of going through my head, vacation in May. I'm debating canceling it. Maybe I'll talk to the boss man about it. Not canceling it, but postponing it. So instead of taking 2 weeks in May and 1 week in fall, what if we're only allowed to take 2 weeks at a time? What if, once the coronavirus thing is done, I'm just kind of running it through my head, and I'm going to say it out loud to see if it makes sense or not. The truck I'm getting tomorrow, well today, you guys will see it after this video, only has the one bunk in it. So when the coronavirus thing is done and the economy has an uptick again, I'll want the truck with 2 bunks in it, a brand new truck. What if in between that, when I give up the new truck, or the truck I'll be driving now, until I get the new truck, switching between the two, take 3 weeks off. Be that in fall or whatever, take a 3-week vacation. Either that or cancel 1 week of vacation in May. Just take 1 week off for ourselves, go camping, some of those free campsites out by the boonies where we'll be alone. Even if the COVID thing is still going, we can be secluded and by ourselves for a week and just camp out. And then take 2 weeks later on. That might be an option. Our fall vacation, I really want to go on that one too, but I don't know. Might have to cancel that one altogether and postpone our 2-week vacation to Texas and cancel our fall vacation to Tennessee. Yeah, saying it out loud, I still don't know. We were going a whole 18 kilometers an hour up that hill. The road I'm taking here is a good little shortcut, Highway 8. We've taken it with our personal vehicle quite often. The other option would be to go from Cache Creek to Kamloops to Merritt and then Connector, or just go to Kamloops, Salmon Arm, and take 97. I'll stay on 97 the whole way. There's not a lot of steep sections here, so it saves some time and definitely saves kilometers going this way. beautiful drive. Lots of little rock slides everywhere. Should be able to deliver first thing tomorrow morning. Running on schedule, no problems. Having a good day down here. As you saw in yesterday's video, it's snowing like crazy. It snowed almost all the way to Cache Creek and then it stopped. So I was thinking of taking like an hour break over here somewhere, but I'm like, well, what if the snow catches up with me? I would really prefer to get over the connector before the snow catches up with me. So if I need to take a half hour somewhere, if I'm feeling hungry or whatever, I'll take a half hour, but I think I'll keep the brakes to a minimum till I make it at least to the top of the connector, so I can beat the snow if it's going to come this far south. See all these black lines of people that did not take the 30 seriously. Unfortunately, fortunately, I don't know. I bypass all the scales this way too, but honestly, I'm not going to be running these trailers much longer, so I don't really need to get a exact reading on my gauges, because I loaded it right to the max of my math just from the first load. So I may be over, I may be under, I might be dead on, but I don't know. So if I'm over, I'm glad I'm bypassing all the scales, but it'd be nice to know. If I see a scale near the road, just a private scale, it looks like nobody's around, I might just sneak on and weigh myself. I don't know of any of those, but if I see one. Faster up this one, 24 kilometers an hour. I see quite a bit of blue skies, so maybe we won't get snow down here. I'd be okay with that. moving pretty quick, so are they going to come shooting around this corner? No, they're okay. Valley's definitely got a unique feel. I don't know if it's called Nicola Valley way down here, but I know towards Merritt it's called Nicola Valley. Yeah, with coronavirus, we're getting all these really unique runs. I'm getting to drive highways I rarely get to drive. So I love that little part of that. The better the economy is, the more we run the same highways. The worse the economy is, the more strange runs we get like this. It's like, cool. I'm up for this. It's kind of fun. A little bit of a silver lining. Another climb. Why did you just upshift? You silly automatic. Oh, for those people asking what kind of transmission I have in this truck, the last day I'm running this truck, I have the answer. It's an Eaton transmission. Only took 2.5 years for me to figure that out. I always suspected that's what it was, but there was no branding on it anywhere, so. I've been told that the Detroit auto shift is much better. I know this one does some funny shifts every now and then. Pick up, get the hint, and move on by quickly. I don't want to slow down. Pickup got the hint. But we're still climbing, and I really don't want to take my foot out of the throttle. But if I can get off the road, let the pickup by, we're both happier. sure a lot of downed trees over here. Not very thick forest. I suspect a forest fire went through here, and the trees that died eventually rotted enough and fell over. And it's been hard for the trees to come back. So they're very sparsely spread out. That'd be my guess, but I don't know. See, some of those trees even have black around the bottom, so I think for sure a forest fire went through here, and I think that might have been why. Yeah, definitely a forest fire came through here, yeah. Just looking at all the trees, definitely forest fire. And I suspect that's why all the trees have fallen over. Bumpy. You guys don't really get to experience the bumps because the camera's got very good stabilization control. The camera lens is mounted on a little spring system. Actively takes out all the vibrations and bumps. The reason why I switched from GoPro to this Sony cam was because of that. The new GoPros do that with digital stabilization, but this does it physically, manually, mechanically stabilized. Still recommend these Sony live action cams over GoPros any day of the week. And just a regular microphone plug-in, just a headset type of plug-in, just normal plug-in. You don't have to have a special dongle or anything. Just plug it in, the microphone just works. Pit Road. Pit Road. We're at 32 kilometers still to go. Plus 13 outside. Nice and warm here. So even if it snows, the roads will stay wet. No chance of sticking to the road unless the temperature really drops as the snow comes through. Not sure how steep this is. Doesn't look very steep. Oh yeah. Forgot to tell you guys about this yesterday. So when I first picked up these trailers, came down the very first hill, I smoked the brakes. Only one set. And only because I was just barely dragging the brake. So I guess when they went into safety, they replaced some of the brakes. They must have set some of the brakes tighter than the other ones. And I was just barely dragging the brake going down the mountain. Just barely touching it, not even 5 psi. All of a sudden I see a little bit of smoke. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, definitely smoke. So the center axle on the driver's side of the lead started smoking. I'm like, I've overheated my brakes, what the heck? I'm like, well, I'm going down fairly quick, just my normal speed. Like, I hadn't thought of going a special speed for these trailers. So I hit the brakes a little harder and the smoke went away. It's like, okay, only one brake when I'm just barely dragging. That one brake is trying to hold back the whole truck and trailer. Like, okay, I know how to fix this. So I braked a little harder, got a lower gear, so I didn't have to drag my brakes at all. Just dropped one gear lower, went all the way to the bottom of the hill. The smoke went away right away after that. I stopped and then pumped my brakes a whole bunch of times. Fully pressed in the brakes. And yes, the brakes were cool by the time I got to the bottom, because I just had to grab the one lower gear and they cooled right down. I didn't need to touch my brakes the rest of the way down. So important to never pump those brakes. When I say pump, I don't mean pump, but it's important not to do this if your brakes are hot, or else you're setting yourself up for all sorts of trouble. So how do I explain this? On big rigs, we call them slack adjusters. Back in the day, a truck driver would have to crawl underneath the trailer and adjust the slack adjusters on a regular basis to make sure that the disc brakes are in the, or not the disc brakes, the drum brakes are in the right position, so that it will apply even brake across all the trailers. Because as your brakes wear down, your brakes start getting further and further away from the drums, making your brakes useless. And then they will overcam. So you want to set your brakes that the brakes are just a little bit off from the drums. And you want all the brakes to be set the same way. But now all our trailers are automatic slack adjusters. So all I do is press the brakes all the way in, hold it there, release it, press them all the way in, release it. I did that a couple of times, I think 5 times. And then very next hill I went and tried it again. Just dragged my brakes a little bit and no smoke. I basically let the automatic slack adjusters adjust by holding in the brakes hard, putting full pressure onto the drum. All of the brakes were now set the same. So that fixed the issue. If I had been thinking, I would have done that when I first picked up the trailers. It's like, of course they just did a safety, replaced brake drums. We need to make sure these slack adjusters are all set to the maximum, right to the brake drum. So they were all within their parameters where they should be, but it's better when they're all exactly the same, so that all the brakes on the trailer, truck, all the brakes are touching at the same time. Because if it's only one, well, one brake can't hold back this whole load. Not a chance. So it's like, whoops, it's getting a little smoky out there. Once again, good thing I keep looking in my mirror so often. Just like when I lost all those straps. I think I lost 3 straps. Looking at it, counting my straps, I think because I've moved trailers, I can't quite see in my mind how it should have been, but I think I lost 3 straps. And like I said, they were all the oldest straps anyway, so the ones that I was kind of debating replacing or not, it's like they're getting really close to their legal limit. So I guess it's been decided for me that those straps have passed their legal limit. They've been deposited, unfortunately, along a roadway somewhere. Looks like we got 2 cars and an empty logging truck behind us. I'm doing the speed limit here, so I'm not too concerned, but if they want to pass, I'll keep an eye on it. My radio on here, see if the logging truck wants to talk to me. If I see a pull out where I'm going slow anyway, I might just do that, pull out and let them pass. People at the campground here. Big notices everywhere. I wonder if they've closed the campground to overnight camping or stuff like that. And notices there too, so they're still open. Park is still open, but at least I think it's open. Maybe people have moved the barricades to the side and go, forget this, and went in the park anyway. But starting today, for you guys, 2 weeks ago, in BC, if you do not practice physical distancing, social distancing, you can actually go to jail for it. So they're being very serious about this virus. I think it'll make the people that were not taking the virus serious at all take note and go, oh, I better at least practice some. Take some precautions not to spread this virus. So I always said there's some people way underreacting and some people way overreacting. Someone standing in the ditch. Got their dog with them. Oh, I could have pulled in there. Bigger rocks that came down there. Sunshine Valley Road? I thought Sunshine Valley was near Hope. it doesn't mean that two different places might not have chosen the same name. Is there an airplane in their yard? Looks like a crashed airplane in the yard. Hopefully it didn't crash there. It's really old, so it probably came from a junkyard somewhere. Robin was kind of cutting it close. Anyway guys, we're getting here into the wider valley here, so hey, that was a blue jay. I'll show you guys the truck I'll be driving for the next. It'll be at least a month. It'll probably be longer than a month. Likely it'll be 2 months. Hopefully not too much longer than that. So I'm just starting to move some stuff into here. This is what the truck looks like. 1837. It's got the little bunny bumper instead of the full moose guard. Starting to move my gear into the back here as well. No headache rack either, so I'm thinking maybe I'm going to do my chains like that. Hold on to my chains. This truck, I did drive it for a day, so it's got a cracked windshield as well. Pretty simple layout, automatic. The passenger seat turns around. Got storage up here. CB radio, VHF on the bottom. More storage. Oh good, it's got a shelf in it. Still has that. Hang your clothes up here. Got a mirror. More storage because it doesn't have the upper bunk. The toaster oven will go in here. The table swings out. And when the seat turns around, it actually makes a decent living space. Nice and clean drawers. I like that they detailed this truck. Apparently a map of Washington. Slide out fridge. I have to clean that out a little bit. Freezer up here. It's a decent truck. I've opened the side, so I'm going to throw stuff over here into this truck. TV mount is useless. Keep that out of the way. I don't need that. If I was keeping the truck, I would actually uninstall it. But yeah, that's the truck. That's the truck.